Duality. Duality is fundamental in the 3D reality. In fact, 3D wouldn't exist if there was no more duality. Word of warning, I am a serious obsessive compulsive smoker. So it's more likely than not I will be smoking throughout every single video I make, so just deal with it. Duality. Yeah, right. Just had a quick look online at things to do with the whole reptilian DNA with the human DNA, and there's a lot of people that are misled in the way that people think that people have been specifically chosen to be mixed with the reptilian DNA, but that's bullshit, because it goes back to the time of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, when Eve is tempted by the snake. It's a whole big symbolic story of permission and how permission was given back then. She ate the fruit, she consumed the reptilian. Things aren't put in a black and white way. That annoys me, it does. Considering it's dualistic, you'd think that things would be represented in a dualistic nature, but they're not. Hold on a minute. Oh. So yeah, we all have the reptilian DNA, hence the reason why we all have the reptilian brain. That is actually proof. Now, in order to maintain 3D, because they control the 3D, you see, these beings, these reptilian beings, and they enjoy us being their slaves in this reptilian-run world, okay? And in order to keep the 3D reality 3D and here, they have to make sure that we stay in a constant battle. They have to make sure there's always a war, there's always a dualistic nature. And they came to the conclusion that the best way to do that would be to mutilate our DNA with two complete opposite natures. So for example, the reptile it couldn't be more far from the way the human beings are. Okay? So to put that into one body, this is the reason why we walk around all the time at odds with ourselves, basically. Constantly at war within. And then it manifests itself without. So that's just the way it is. It's just the fact of it, and it's the reason we've got the angel in one ear, the devil in the other ear. It's because we've been mutilated with two opposing DNAs. Therefore, it's inevitable we're going to be at war. Now, I don't know how we'd manage to actually remove the DNA, but I think one way of healing would be to kind of use it in a way, the reptilian bit. Or better yet, understand it, because knowledge is power. A lot of people don't want to accept this, so it's not talked about. And when it is talked about, people are often put in a box, shoved to the conspiracy corner of YouTube, and it stays in that box. And if it gets anywhere out of that box, then you become a madman. Take David Icke, for example. Now, reptilians are cold in nature, humans are warm in nature, yep, done that. It's the mutilation of the DNA that caused the whole yin-yang concept. And it's represented with Kundalini as well, the snake. That is the it's another part of the reptilian within us, basically. It's not a good thing, the Kundalini. I don't suggest activating it. It could be another explanation for why narcissists are narcissists. If they, for example, have more of the DNA than we do, it could explain why they're so cold-natured and lack empathy. Some people have narcissistic traits and not full-blown narcissism. They would be people who had a tiny increase of the reptilian DNA. Also, psychopaths. That'd be an example of a 80% to 100% DNA mutilation. The DNA mutilation also can be... They use the colours red and blue a lot to... You must notice that they have inner jokes. They put things in our faces, and when we don't notice it, it's our permission. Again. Oh God, it's such a deep subject. I need to stick to the topic at hand. Duality. Right, duality. So, if this war was to suddenly cease to exist, and we were to make peace or whatever, 3D would crumble, and we would go into the fourth dimension where there's no such thing as duality, everything is just one. There's no time either, because it's the time that creates duality. In other words, yesterday, today, tomorrow, today. It's duality, it's split. It's split. Some could say even to go as far as the mind would be the reptilian, the heart would be the human. Yes, I like that a lot. It's a very good analogy. Very good analogy. Forty. Yes, illusion of time. So, for example, if I'm hungry now and I want to make something to eat, then I'd stand up, walk to the kitchen, I'd put the kettle on, boil it, pour it in a pan, put some pasta in, etc, and then I'd eat it. Well, in the fourth dimension, it doesn't work like that. You crave the sensation, and you manifest it, that sensation. There's no faffing around, no duality. You know, the possibilities are limitless. And they don't want that, because they don't have full dominion over the fourth dimension. And so, this is duality, this is the concept of duality, and you know, it really gets the mind working when you think about it. So, I'll leave it with you. Thank you, and goodbye.